spokesperson what they had to say. We didn't go without checking at all.
See, okay. Lata, I'm with 30 seconds. Lata, I would just say this.
Yes.
So only thing I would say this to you, Lata, is that once you know me personally, we met, and you chose to not even.
No, Mr. Singh.
Mr. Singh. That is an issue, Lata. You are a very senior journalist.
Mr. Singh.
And I feel, Lata, I have to have my opinion.
One minute,
I will live in a country.
Mr. Singh.
I'm not supposed to have my opinion.
1 minute, Mr. Singh. We didn't know that. I mean, Nimesh is reaching out to the Adani group. He reaches out to Pranav Adani. He reaches out. I mean, I can call him into the studio and ask him, but he reached out several times to the group. Now,
Lata, my question
if your point is yes to call you, then that should be made clear. He did reach to Pranav Adani. You can ask Pranav whether he was reached out to by Nimesh. So I just want to make clear, our policy also is to definitely first reach out to the group. And we did that. And all our lines clearly said that we have reached out to the group, we have reached out to NSDL, and we are awaiting their reply. We did not go out with a single line. Unless the group.
Lata, you have a megaphone. I don't have a megaphone.
No, you do.
Please understand this very clearly, huh? We are obliged. I have to have my opinion. My opinion is as follows. We were just saying that it is important for a senior person like yourself to lead on a story that is putatively an attack on India's largest infra and real asset platform, based on incorrect information. That you, knowing me, you did not reach out. I'm saying that to you on live TV in front of you, not behind your back, not to anybody.
No,
to you.
And I am also telling you on live TV that we reached out.
This is not behavior of a senior editor.
No. I think that is unfair, Mr. Singh. We did reach out to Adani at every point in time. Now, if you are the spokesperson, you should tell us that. If you want, I'll get Nimesh into the studio. Nimesh reached out to Pranav. You can ask Pranav and you can ask Nimesh.
No, I know what happens in Adani. I know when Nimesh reached out and Pranav Adani, we sit in the same office, all of us.
Okay.
And
so
I'm actually sitting in Sagar Adani's office at the moment. So everybody's here. So that is not the issue. But I think the important is that we serious stories like that require serious deliberation.
Yes.
And serious journalists like yourself, who we respect a lot, are obliged to reflect the gravitas of the position you occupy. And not go with these kind of things without proper due diligence.
We didn't go with any of the reports we saw in the media. We kept asking NSDL and Adani. And I can tell you that again and again. We did not carry what was in the media. We reached out to Pranav Adani. I mean, Nimesh reached out to whomever he speaks with. And we waited for the reply. We also reached out to NSDL, and NSDL was not pulling out the list. It continued to have the list on the website. So what are we to do if they don't reply? Yeah, go ahead, Shri.
And Mr. Singh, that is the point that I want to make to you, that every effort was made to reach out to the NSDL. Repeated phone calls were made. We actually sent a reporter to the NSDL office in Mumbai. They're working from home, so our reporter could not meet anybody to seek a clarification. But even as far as your own statement was concerned, as you would imagine, sir, it took pretty much to the end of the working day for a clarification to be issued. So we have tried our level best to reach out to the regulator, to reach out to the funds in question, and to reach out to the NSDL to try and elicit a response before we actually said unequivocally one thing or the other. And as I pointed out right at the very start, we made it absolutely clear, and the NSDL website still has the names of these three funds as part of the frozen account names out of the 9,447 odd names that are listed on the NSDL website. So we've done our due diligence on this, and I have to say that we made every effort to reach out to the group as well as the regulators involved. But if we may move further before we let you go, Mr. Singh, because I think this is a matter that you have now clarified amply from here on as part of, in your words, improvement of the register is concerned, and addressing perhaps the issue of low float as well.
I think that overall, we've taken steps in the sense that our first objective is that wherever we have good strategic partners to bring in those strategic partners so they can be big part of the register. So Total, QI, etc. So they continue to develop part of it. Our main focus always, Shireen, remains on our businesses. We are focused on creating businesses that are robust, high cash flow, high growth, and ability to distribute cash if they can't find growth. So from a group, I think my perspective, from a group perspective, we don't focus on specifically like share values, etc. We focus on delivering performance. So what I can promise you is that as we see going forward, we are already top 10 global infra and real asset platform. We continue to cement that position and grow that position. And hopefully we will continue to our absolute focus on being a world-class infra and real asset platform. And we will have multiple growth, not just percentage growth, a multiple growth in our EBITDA from here. And that will be delivered by each individual business and which we will support. And the result of that will be that as investor set sees us in the global scale, then naturally that investor set will keep coming into the register as it has been happening over the last 2 years. So we expect that all of this, the things that we have discussed, that they are a artifact of 2010, 2011, 2012. They are not what Adani Group is today. We have reached a point where we are truly homegrown, global standard infra and real asset platform, and therefore. I think from the growth perspective, from country's perspective, the country is on the right path. We will recover robustly. The country will recover. We will recover with the country because we are 100% domestic infra, purely focused on India GDP. We are proxy for that, and you will see a robust bounce back in Indian GDP and the similar robust multiple bounce back in terms of growth of Adani infra portfolio.
Well, Mrs. Singh, we will leave it there. Appreciate you joining us here to take us through where things currently stand on the issue of FPIs with that clarification and also what the group's plans are for future growth. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Thanks very much for your time. Well, that is the Group CFO of the Adani Group taking us through where things currently stand on some of the concerns that have been raised.